New Vitamin Water Zero Sugar Pineapple Passion Fruit is packed with vitamins, just like the amount of peas we packed in that sentence. It's packed like your tote bag, the one you stole from your ex, or your overpriced half a studio apartment, or extra rushed rush hour traffic. Packed like your calendar. Triple booked at 5, of course. Grab a vitamin water. Did we mention it's packed with vitamins?
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
We did not have an agreement in place before the puppies were born. We assumed that I would
How's that working out for the two of you? Because we have a name for people like that. We call them litigants.
This is the plaintiff, Ryan Lewis. He says the defendant, his neighbor, allowed his male German Shepherd to get loose, and the dog impregnated his female German Shepherd named Cheyenne. His dog ended up needing an emergency C-section, and he had 10 puppies to deal with. And this whole thing's the defendant's fault because he can't keep his darn dog from roaming the neighborhood. So neighbor or no neighbor, he's suing for the $4,661.39 he's now out. This is the defendant, Mark Lutz. He says he and the plaintiff discussed breeding their dogs many times, and one day it happened. The guy's a little nuts to sue him now because he sold the puppies and made a lot of money. All of a sudden, the plaintiff wants him to pay for the vet bills on top of all the money he's made? Is he crazy? He's accused of dogging a neighbor.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay. Ryan Lewis and Margaret Lewis?
Yes.
All right. Who is Margaret to you?
My mother.
Okay. And the two of you own the dog?
Yes.
All right. You are suing Mark Lutz for $4,661.39 in vet bills for your dog during her pregnancy, where his dog is the father.
Correct.
Kind of like a deadbeat granddad, kind of complicated. All right, tell me what's going on.
Well, basically, my German Shepherd and his German Shepherd had got together. My German Shepherd got pregnant.
Wait, stop. How did they get together? How did that occur? Because that doesn't.
His dog came over to my property.
Okay, but by design?
No, my dog was in heat, and I guess he smelled it.
Wait. Just back it up, pal. All right, his dog is loose.
Apparently.
And your dog is loose?
My dog's on my property. Outside.
Loose?
Outside.
How does his dog get in? You have a fence?
No.
Okay, so your dog is loose?
Yes.
And his dog is loose? And it's a mystery that they got together? That one's in here? But you guys had never talked about breeding your dogs?
Well, this wasn't the first time it happened. Last year, they had got together, and there was a pregnancy, but she lost the puppies.
Okay,
And
so
this year,
I'm sorry, was this by design or was this
No.
by accident?
It was totally by accident.
Just a happy little coincidence that you were both pleased with?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
and you're just, the dogs just roaming around, being dogs, and,
Yep.
Okay, do you call him up and say, woohoo, success, maybe,
Well, I actually had to call him because the dogs actually got locked together. I don't know if
I hate when that happens.
it happened, so we actually had to pour cold water on them to separate them.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was kind of an ugly sight. But,
Not to the dogs.
but anyway, after there was pregnancy, she was
Well, what
home.
did you two discuss about
We hadn't
The event. Well, when did you call him and tell him? Well, yeah, you called him then.
Well, I called him after.
So you call, what did you two say to each other?
After the first exam, I called him and I said the dog's pregnant, and he said, okay, great. You know, we were both happy about it.
Okay.
No problems, no concerns.
Wait, there should be a problem and a concern, which is like, how's this going to work out? I mean, according to you, what's the deal you guys strike?
We didn't discuss anything at
You
the
never
time.
discussed a deal?
No, he just said he had a couple people that were interested in puppies. I had a couple people that were interested.
Well, but wait a second. Is he supposed to make money off of this because it was his mail?
No.
He's not supposed to make any money.
Well,
He's not going to get any dogs. He's not going to get pick of the litter. He's not going to get anything.
He had pick of the litter.
Oh, how did he have that? That is my question.
I gave it to him.
Oh, when did you? That's what we call an agreement. I'm trying to figure out what the agreement was. So you told him, I'll give you pick of the litter.
Correct.
All right, and then you would keep all of the proceeds from all the other sales.
No, what happened was he told me that he had people that were interested, and I told him I wanted $800 for the puppies, whatever he could have after that. So he was apparently selling them for $12. 3 puppies were sold on his side. I sold 2 for $800. I don't know what he made on his side. And then a couple of them after that I sold 1 for $6.
How do you know that he sold 3 for $1,200?
I don't. It was just what he told me.
All right. So, and he told you should be selling them for more, right?
Correct.
But you didn't.
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to get rid of them.
Right. I understand. All right. So then what goes wrong?
Well, the day of the birth, she had 2 at home. The third one got stuck in her birth canal, so I had to bring her for an emergency C-section. This was Sunday night at like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh, it must have been so stressful.
Oh my, it was a bad night. But I took her to the hospital. They had to do an emergency C-section. After that, they had to keep her overnight and, observations, all this stuff. It turned out to be, just for that one day, it was like $2,600 approximately. 2 weeks later, I had to bring them again, for their 2-week checkup. Approximately $100 a puppy. There's another $1,000. And then after that,
Did you not foresee that there could be costs associated with
Oh,
this
absolutely.
whole-
And during the time me and him were speaking, he said he would be more than happy to split the bill with me.
Of the C-section?
No, he just said the entire vet bill. He never said the C-section. He said, I'll split the bills with you.
Did you tell him that you would pay for half of the bills for the dog?
Before the C-section, of course, I would assume that I would pay half of everything. After the C-section, I said, if you need money, let me know. We'll split the bill. And every time we talked about it was, we'll work it out, we'll work it out, we'll work it out.
Okay,
and
so what you're telling me, though, is that you are in agreement that you were supposed to split the bill?
Split the bill if we split the puppies.
Oh, split the bill if you split the puppies.
We did not have an agreement in place before the puppies were born. We assumed that I would
How's that working out for the two of you? Because we have a name for people like that. We call them litigants. Okay, so go on.
I planned on keeping a puppy. I think Brian planned on keeping a puppy.
Correct.
And then we would hopefully have 8 healthy puppies left.
To sell.
Right.
So you tell him, I'm happy to split the cost
When it
under the
happened-
impression that you would also split the profit from these puppies. And then when do you learn that he wants to keep the profit from all the puppies?
Well, the game changed after the puppies were born. Like he said, I sold a couple right away. And soon as it...
Well, you obviously knew that he wanted to keep at least 800. And then, what did you sell those 3 dogs for?
It started out like this. I was going to keep a dog. As you said, pick of the litter. He was going to keep a dog. And then, I don't know, a week or 2 into it, I think he decided that he wanted to keep 2 dogs. So as far as I knew, the math was 10 minus 3 is 7 left. There was 1 female. There were 9 males and 1 female. The female, somebody on his side claimed to want the female. Okay, so now we have 6 males left. I sold 2, and then a third one.
What did you sell them for?
800.
Okay.
And I mean, he might have thought that I got more. The puppies that I sold were friends of mine that didn't have the money, and I fronted the money to him as soon as they took the puppy, so there were no headaches. He wanted 800, I gave him 800. And one of the payments I just got last week, so, I wasn't doing this for the money. I wanted a dog, and that's what I did.
Okay.
So you have a copy of the text
Well, do you
messages,
ever
Your
say
Honor?
to him, though, I want to see all the text messages on your phone, not what you guys print out. But my question to you is, at some point, aren't you curious what your deal is?
Well, my deal, I was curious from the start because I never saw the bill. Okay, so
No, but what? I'm sorry.
I'm not questioning the bill, but the bill, in order for you to leave the vet's office with your dog and 10 puppies, the bill has to get paid. correct?
Right.
Okay, so the vet got paid. He paid it, somebody in his family paid it. Okay, so let's move on. Let's sell the dogs. Like I said, every time I sold a dog, I gave him $800.
Right. So then there's how many dogs? You kept 2?
I currently have 2.
Okay. And so that's $1,600. And then you sold another how many?
He sold 3, which I actually ended up
Which you got the money for. And so there's how many?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
How many dogs did you sell?
I sold 3.
For 800?
No, I'm sorry. I sold 2 for 800. I sold 1 for 600. I sold 1 for 500, and I think I gave away 2.
So you take in 4,300. Well, you take in how much money? How much money did you take in the sale of all the dogs?
Approximately 30, 36 maybe.
Okay. And then you kept 2 of them.
Correct.
So that's another 19, because you have the value of 2 beautiful German Shepherds. I don't understand your lawsuit. Why should he have to pay for not just a C-section, but every vet bill for every puppy that was yours?
Well, turns out that I had the puppies for over 10 weeks. The first 3 didn't get, I mean, obviously you can't sell the puppies until 8 weeks later. After 4 weeks, I still had to get all the immunizations for them. You can't sell puppies until after 8
weeks.
weeks.
You're answering how much it cost you to breed your dog.
Right.
That's not my question.
Well,
my question is, why does he have to pay for it?
He offered to split the bill with me.
Okay, I don't care what he offered. He doesn't want to do it now. So now I have to look at whether he's obligated to do it. So I need you to give me a good reason why he would be obligated to do it. Why is he obligated to do it? Because his dog came on your property? Because his dog assaulted your dog? What is your theory on why because if the deal is you get pick of the litter, he's out of the picture and every piece of profit is yours. And if there hadn't been a C-section, that'd be awesome, right? Because it would be all pure profit in your pocket.
Right.
Turns out that it wasn't awesome because there was a C-section involved, which is a bunch of your profit.
Right.
And, so now you turn around and you want to change the deal on him, but you also want to keep all of the money. And you don't want to split that and take that off the tab.
I didn't make a dime out of this.
What are you talking about? You sold a bunch of dogs for $800 unless you felt like keeping them.
No, if you add all the math together.
Then you don't make a profit because you have the unfortunate circumstance of medical bills.
Right, and then I also had.
I'm sorry, the fact that you didn't make a profit because you didn't strike a deal that you now, in retrospect, wish you had struck, does not mean he has to eat it. You see, the next time you breed your dog, you have to think and decide whether you're going into business with the person and you're going to split everything 50-50, which means you split the profit, you split the costs of the vet bills. Or do you want to give them pick of the litter and have them gone from your life so that everything that happens is all meat and potatoes into your pocket? Which would be great if there's no C-section, right?
Right.
Because if there's no C-section and you had how many puppies again? 10. And you give him 1, that's 9 times your 800. Woo, 7,200 for you, right?
If it worked out that way.
Yeah, if it worked out that way, but it didn't. It's your business deal.
Right.
Why do you want me to clean up your mess? This was your like loosey-goosey business deal.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So who here has dogs or has had dogs? Would anybody here mate their dogs and then sell the puppies? Anybody?
I would have.
Huh?
I would have, but then I changed my mind.
Why?
Because I realized that you can rescue puppies and the dogs can die while giving labor.
Fair points. What do you think?
Yeah, I would mate my dog and have puppies, but I'd have to have a really good agreement with the other people so they treated the puppies properly.
What about the argument she makes that why bring more dogs into the world when you can rescue all these dogs that are just as loving? What do you think?
Just for money.
Huh? Just for money.
Well,
just a mercenary thing.
No, well, I bought my dog as a guy breeding his puppies to raise money for college. So I don't see a problem with it as long as it's done in a humane way.
Fair enough.
I think if the dogs are being bred in a proper way, then we won't have as big a problem.
Okay, fair point. Going inside the courtroom.
After the 4 weeks, the mother of the puppies stopped nursing, so I had to pay another $100 every week for food. It was constant.
Okay.
Expense after expense.
Yeah, it's expensive.
After that, I ran out of money. So I even went to his house one day and I said, dude, I don't even have money for dog food. He said, I'm not giving you any money.
Okay, and your defense is?
Not true.
What's your
He
defense?
came over and asked for money. We gave him money.
How much money did you give him?
$40 or something. I can't remember.
But your defense is, I got pick of the litter, I'm done. There's nothing else that's my responsibility.
And I went out of my way to sell the dogs. He asked for $800. I got him $800 every time, and I paid it up front before I got paid.
I don't understand why you did that, though.
I was being a nice guy.
He did.
Yeah, but did you expect to get any profit from any of this other than the pick of the litter?
It wasn't about the money. I didn't want any money. I wanted the dog.
That is actually
And then once you got the dog, you turned around, and you already had the dog, and then you turned around and sold 3 dogs.
Yeah, gave him the money.
And then at some point, you were telling him that you'll split the
I got checks from them.
Do you have an off button? I'd press it now. At some point, you tell him that you'd split the vet bills with him, but according to you, that was before you learned
the deal changed.
Yeah, but when the deal changed, did you say to him, why is this deal changing? Or did you just go with the flow? Yeah. This is after everything blows up, though, right? Nobody has text before everything blows up. Do you? Do you have text you wanted to show me?
He probably has the same thing.
Well, who knows? You never know. Let me see yours.
Your Honor.
Hold on. I have the vet bill due tomorrow. Did you decide on if you're either paying for Quint, who's Quint, your dog, or splitting the bill? I need the money by tomorrow. Yeah, this is after everything blows up. I am not understanding the math. 10 puppies, 3-week keep is 7. 7 times 800 is 5,600. I know the surgery was 2,600 plus the shots, but it's not that much. When I offered to split the bill, I would assume I would get half the money from the puppies. You set the price, and I've been working on selling them. If Ricky takes 1, that's 3 we've sold. I will continue to sell them till they're gone. I just added up all the receipts. It's over $4,500, he says. I have all the receipts to prove it. The last 2 I only sold for $600. Plus, you're assuming 7 puppies sold. You didn't pay for yours. Plus, the guy's doing my driveway, so I didn't get money. Plus $50 a week for food, 13 weeks of picking up manure. I'll use the kinder, family-friendly word. 10 times a day, my kitchen's trash. I need new carpets. I shouldn't have to get into this. We never agreed on splitting the puppies. I don't understand, dude. I'm seriously, I just don't understand you. You either have a business deal that you split everything, and that includes profit as well as costs, expenses, or you don't have a business deal where you split everything, but you don't get to have it both ways. He splits all the costs, you make all the profit. That's like in some la-la land that doesn't exist. You only have puppies to sell because that dog did its business with your dog. And so that he gave you something and you gave him something, pick of the litter, and your guys' business is done. Next time you breed your dog, get in writing what you expect, because what you expect nobody's ever going to agree to, which is you make all the profit, but they share in the expenses.
But there
That's
was no
crazy.
profit.
Then tough. That's what we call a bad business deal for you. But it doesn't mean that everyone in your environment has to pay for you because the chips didn't fall where you wanted them to. That is a risk of business. That's it. Verdict for the defendant.
Let's get some comment from the plaintiff coming out here into the hallway here. After losing this case, what?
I'm just very disappointed. I thought it was going to be a little bit, better in my favor.
All right, so you learned from this case and you learned from the judge's comments that you have to do what next time you go through this process?
I was just under the impression, there was a leash law, the dog came on my property, and I figured, he would at least be somewhat decent to split the bill with me, and I bottom line is I didn't make any money. I mean, I have to repair a lot of damages done to my house.
So you're going to make these same mistakes all over again, or how do you prevent this?
I got the dog fixed. It's not going to happen again.
Okay. All right, right down this way.
Thank you.
Okay, see ya. All right, so step on in here, and your feeling on this outcome?
It is what it is. I knew it going into after the surgery. He wanted $800 a dog. I went on my way to sell 3 dogs, and I did what I was supposed to do.
And you guys are still neighbors?
Yeah, we live 4 houses away.
You see each other? You say hello to each other in the street?
I haven't seen him, no.
All right, over to Harvey.
Okay, she makes a compelling point, but I do have to say that I believe in rescues because I'm telling you, these dogs do not forget, ever. When you get them, they will never forget that you rescued them. It's a weird thing, but they know. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hey, it's Paris. I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
This is the plaintiff, Charlotta McCaskill. She says she prepaid the defendant a broker's fee, and the woman promised she'd be able to find her a place to live in. Turns out the defendant was full of it because she couldn't find her a suitable place, and now the woman won't return her money. She has no other choice but to take her here to court to get back the $900 she's rightfully owed. This is the defendant, Willette Daniels. She says the plaintiff lied on her application form about her income and about her ability to pay $1,000 a month in rent. She certainly did her part trying to help this young lady, but the woman's a liar. And since she forfeited the apartment she set up for her to live in, she also forfeited her fee. She's accused of not delivering.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says she prepaid a broker's fee to find an apartment. The broker never found her an apartment and now won't return the fee. But the defendant says the reason she didn't find a place is because she lied in her application. It's the case of give me shelter or give me the commission.
Thank you, Douglas. Charlotta McCaskill.
Yes.
You are suing Willette Daniels and her realty company, you've asked us not to mention the company name, for $900 in broker fees that you paid her that you feel that she did not earn and should return to you. Tell me what's going on.
I was in a homeless shelter, and the shelter I was living in recommended Ms. Daniels and her services in order to help me find an affordable apartment. So I met with her in February and, and paid her the $900 to help me find an affordable apartment. I was a part of also a program from the Coalition for the Homeless called the Rental Assistance Program. So I had a deadline of 45 days to find an apartment for them to help subsidize my rent. So she knew I was on that deadline. I had a certain amount of time to find an apartment.
How were they going to subsidize your rent? How much of it would they pay?
They would pay $300 a month, and I would pay the balance.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So did you fill out any paperwork when you met with Ms. Daniels?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you have a copy of it?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Sure.
Okay. So go on.
So we met on February 18th. I sent an email the day I met her to confirm that we had this meeting, and that was a pleasure meeting her, and I was looking forward to working with her. And if she needed further, information, she should contact me.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
It says here under employment that you work as a housing outreach specialist.
That's correct.
So you were already a housing outreach specialist
That's
when
correct.
you became homeless?
That is correct.
And this is a private corporation that you were working for as a housing outreach specialist?
It's a nonprofit organization.
A nonprofit. And
That's
they couldn't
correct.
help you get a home?
Well, it would be in some ways a conflict of interest.
A conflict of interest? What, are you
Right.
kidding me? Like, there's no, the whole thing is bizarre the irony of it can't be
Right.
lost on you.
Of course.
All right,
of
in
course.
any event. So
Yes.
now, all right, you meet her and you
Right.
fill out these documents.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Then a month went by, didn't hear anything. I sent another email, trying to find out what was going on. And my deadline for the coalition was coming up because they only gave me 45 days to find an apartment in order to subsidize my rent.
So it was how many days before then,
At
by
least-
the time you got exasperated?
It was 30 days. It was a month.
Okay.
Right. So I'm saying, well, what's going on? So then she finally said, oh, okay, well, I'll send you. I have a place I'm going to send you. So when I went to that appointment in the Bronx, the lady had all my paperwork there, so she did send the paperwork there. But the problem is that the rent was $850. My contract with the coalition says a maximum of $750. So
Let me see the contract with
Certainly.
the coalition.
Right. So here's the issue. When I first met Ms. Daniels, we did discuss
And it's the coalition themselves who referred you to her?
No, it was the shelter I was living in, George Daly House, which I have a letter from them. And
Okay, so did you ever give her this and tell her my cap is $7?
The first time I met her.
Is there anywhere in the paperwork that they fill out that they tell you the max rent they can afford?
No, there isn't. I have
That's
to take
right,
that back.
because I looked through all this.
No, there isn't.
So what ends up happening? According to you, she's showing you places that are $850.
She never showed me anything, Your Honor. What happened is I met...
She gave you the name of a place that was $850.
Yes, she did not personally take me to any apartments or anything like that. She sent me to another agency that has affordable apartments. So now, when we first met, we discussed the possibility that I may have to come out of my pocket with extra money because she was saying that the $750 was too low to find me an apartment. So I said to her...
You mean under the table?
Right, exactly. So I was willing to pay an additional $50 a month under the table. I was willing to do that. So at the first meeting, I did say that I was willing to pay an additional $50 a month under the table. When I had the appointment in the Bronx, it was a whole $100 over what I was expected to pay. And the contract that the woman was offering me was for $850. There's no way the coalition would have accepted in writing a contract for an apartment for $850. It wasn't going to happen. So it was not a legitimate offer, and there was no way I could accept it. So, that's what happened.
So you ended up going to someone else?
So what happened is I called the Coalition for the Homeless, my case manager there, because she offered me a broker before when I first met them and got.
But instead of taking her broker, you took whose broker?
The broker that was recommended to me by the shelter I was living in at George Daly House.
So then you called her for her broker. You used her broker.
Yes,
her broker didn't charge you up front.
Not a dime.
Her broker found you a place.
Within 1 week, they found me an apartment.
That was for
$750.
Okay, and how much you paying under the table there?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on? She says that you're keeping her fee, but that you didn't find her a place.
Okay, Miss McCosco's not being honest. When I met with her, I did tell her that with the companies that I work with, that the rent was about $800 and over. And I did explain that to her, and she agreed.
Okay. Did you know that according to the assistance she's getting, she couldn't go beyond $750?
She was told that she may not be able to use that, and she agreed.
By whom?
I told her that, and she agreed.
That she may not be able to use the assistance?
That's right, because of her income, and not only that.
No, but the assistance they were giving her, and they knew her income. But they said that if you get an apartment, am I mistaken? No, I don't think so. The assistance, they were already telling you, we're going to give it to you if you get an apartment that's not more than $750.
That's what they told her. But when it comes to landlords, who's to say who's going to accept it?
That's a different issue. So you're telling her, the places I have are, according to you, you tell her they're $800 and above.
That's correct.
Then according to her, she tells me that, in fact, she did tell you, that sounds like the truth, because she did tell you she'll pay $50. But the place that you're showing her isn't $50 under the table. It's $75 under the table. And according to her, $100 under the table.
Right. And that's another lie. I never told her I would pay, that she would have to give me $50 under the table.
Well, then how is it, if you know, just a moment, if you know that she's going to get $300 of her rent paid, which is hard to pass up. I want $300 of my mortgage paid.
I know, me too.
All right, so if you know she's going to get that, if she just stays in the $750 category, who in their right mind is going to go to the $800 category and end up paying $400 more, $350 more for rent every month? She wants this $300. She wants you to stay in the $750. You then tell her, I may not be able to do that. All you do is give her the name of one place and say, call them. And then she calls them, and then according to her, they tell her $850.
No.
Either way, we all know it's above the $750.
No,
but one of the things you said in your answer to the complaint was that she told you she wanted to look at places that were $1,000, and that you had recorded that.
Yes, she
I don't see her saying anywhere in her paperwork that she wants places of $1,000.
Okay.
Where in the paperwork do they say what their max is?
It's not there, ma'am.
Why not? Why isn't there a line for that?
I would definitely put that down in the future.
You need to do business differently. It needs to be in there.
She did say that to me. And
Watch this. Did you say that to her?
Of course not.
So if the broker doesn't find the person a place, is the broker entitled to a fee?
Yeah, no.
Hey, you covered all the bases there. What do you think?
I don't think they should make anything at all, honestly. Like, the person just has to find, like, a nice place to live, and, So,
but if the broker finds a place, but it's not to the tenant's satisfaction, does the tenant have to pay?
No, I think the broker has to keep looking, because that's, like, their whole job.
That's the whole job, going inside the courtroom.
She did say that to me, and I did tell her that I would try my best to find her an apartment.
Okay, but your contract says this. If she is accepted for an apartment, did you apply for the apartment and were you accepted?
I could not apply for the apartment.
Because of the number?
Okay. Yes.
Do you have any proof she was, quote, accepted for the apartment?
She had an interview with...
No, that's not the same as being accepted. Do you know that she applied and was accepted? And if so, you need to prove it to me. Because that's one way you get the money. And the other way is if she obtains an address, apartment, or services that lead her to obtain an apartment. In other words, if that landlord had referred it to another place, you'd still get the commission. But I don't have either one of those two circumstances happening, so why would you be able to keep the money? In other words, let's assume it's exactly as you say, which is you show her, you give her a lead on a place and she just doesn't like it. Forget everything else. She just says, this stinks, and she doesn't like it. She still has to pay you?
Okay, I didn't just give her name. She had an interview.
Okay, so what? So I can have an interview. I can call and get an interview.
And she walked out on the interview.
Yes, because the money was wrong. She couldn't afford it. She was being actually fiscally responsible.
Your Honor, if I may...
No, but you think you need to interject? But what kills me is if she had walked out because she just didn't like it. She doesn't have to live where you tell her to live. It's America. She walks in there, and she looks at it, and she says, ew, and she turns around. She still owes you a fee? Don't be ridiculous. Pay this lady back her money, $900. Verdict for the plaintiff. Thank you.
Don't be ridiculous, says the judge. You'll be paying back her fee. Do you realize now that you weren't entitled to keep that fee?
I believe I was.
Even though the judge just ruled against you?
Yes.
Why?
Because there was a service done, and she didn't tell the truth.
Mm-hmm. What didn't she tell the truth about?
The fact that I
what
made the
entitles
appointment.
You to keep this fee?
The appointment was made. She got up and she walked out. She told me that she could pay up to $1,000, but when she comes to court, the story is different. Her income that I have on my documents, which I didn't get the chance to show the judge, different amounts of income for different applications. So, what can I say?
What can you say? All right, right down this way.
Okay.
All right, so how does this moment feel for you?
It feels great.
Yeah?
Yes, excellent.
Go ahead, tell us about it.
I really feel vindicated because, Ms. Daniels completely lied about everything that happened. And she didn't find me an apartment, so she doesn't deserve to get the money, to keep the money.
Could you believe that she tried to keep this money on you?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, taking advantage of someone who's homeless. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
All right, Harvey?
The broker's saying, well, I'm entitled to a fee because I did the work. Well, the broker is wrong. The tenant has to find a place that's suitable for the tenant, and that's the tenant's decision on whether it's good enough. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by ESPN. Catch the first WWE Premium Live event on ESPN, WrestlePalooza, live on Saturday, September 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be an epic night in Indianapolis, featuring some of the biggest WWE superstars. This event is only on ESPN, so go to stream.espn.com and sign up to the ESPN app today for your all-access pass to WrestlePalooza and all WWE Premium Live events.
These are the plaintiffs, Adrian and Sandra Sugrim. Adrian says he hired the defendant to repair and paint his car after he hit a guardrail, and the guy had it for almost 6 weeks. When it was finished, it didn't look right, and he found out there'd been a fire at the defendant's shop. The car had new scratches on it and soot stains to boot. So he's suing for $1,700 because his car is still not right, and the defendant refuses to do anything about it. This is the defendant, Elizabeth Sierra. She says she repaired the plaintiff's car, called him repeatedly to pick it up over the next few months, but he never did. She even placed a mechanic's lien on the car, which ended up staying in her shop for 108 days. Now the crazy guy is suing her? Please, she should sue him for storage. She's accused of making things worse.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to repair and paint his car. Turns out there was a fire at the shop, and it damaged the plaintiff's whip. But the defendant says the plaintiffs were slow in the uptake and wouldn't pick up the car. It's the case of Whip It Good.
Thank you, Douglas. Can you pronounce your last name for me?
Sugrim.
Sugrim. Adrian Sugrim and Sandra Sugrim? Yes. You are suing the auto body shop. You've asked us not to mention the name of the shop. Elizabeth Sierra, you're the manager.
Yes.
And you'll be representing them for $1,700 that you paid to have your car painted because, according to you, they did a miserable job. Tell me what happened.
Well, I met the defendants through a friend of mine. He took his car to have his car worked on. And I liked the work they did, so I said, all right, I'll take my car to them.
And what kind of car was this?
It's a 95 BMW M3.
Okay.
In August of 2011, I dropped off my car for them
Okay.
to be painted.
And what were you doing? Just a paint job and the whole thing?
Yeah, I hit a guardrail and sideswiped the
So
back of it.
did you also have body work?
Yes, there was body work on the right rear quarter panel.
Okay.
I took the car there. I took a front and rear bumper because those need to be replaced.
When did you take the car in?
August 2011.
2011?
Yes.
Okay.
He gave me a really fair price because of he knew my friend, and I sent work there also.
Right, but then according to your complaint, it's March of 2012.
Yep.
And
March
that's
of
when you get a call. That is 3 and 4, 7 months later. That's not 7 weeks later.
After the 6 weeks passed, I went and I took my plates and insurance off the car.
Okay.
And I put it on another car.
Okay.
And I told him, well, don't worry about it. I have another car to use in the meantime.
So you were in no rush?
No rush at that point.
Okay.
So I registered a new car. I drove that around. Then
So
in
according
March,
to you, in March they call you and they tell you it's ready. 7 months later?
well, no, my friend went. He had his car painted at the shop. He went in March and saw the car was painted. So I went over there. I saw the car. Car looked
I'm sorry.
great.
They painted it, but they didn't want to get paid for it, so they never called you?
No, they had just finished painting it, but they
Okay.
still had to put it together.
Okay.
So when he saw the car, I went there, saw the car. It looked great and everything, but the spoiler wasn't painted and it wasn't mounted. So I said, okay, well, when you paint the spoiler and you mount it, give me a call. I was back and forth
And then another
between
year
the shop.
passed?
No. Then in August, not August, April.
April, May,
sorry.
June, July, August?
Not August. I'm sorry. It was April. The very
Okay.
next. It was a few weeks later. We were in probably late March, and then sometime in April they called me. I went with my father. Realized there were a couple paint runs in the paint, and also the rear bumper wasn't lining up properly.
Paint runs are what? Like you could see the drop or you could see
Yeah,
the
it was
stroke?
too much paint, so
Right.
it actually leaked down.
Okay.
And then also when we were trying to
So
put
you
on.
say to them,
Well, I told the son, I was like, look, there's 2 run marks here. He said, all right, don't worry about it, leave it. He'll take care of it.
and then
And then I went back in August of 2012.
5 months later?
Yeah, I didn't mind. I had another car I was using. So I went back. The car was covered in plastic. It had ash and stuff because one of their other customers' cars actually caught on fire down there. And it was only a few cars away from mine. So it got all dusty and everything. I didn't mind because they said they were going to take care of it. I knew the car had to
Okay,
be
but you
fixed.
left your car, I'm sorry, so if I got this correctly, you're saying my car was there for 2 years and it was never ready in 2 years. That you know how that
Well, it
doesn't
wasn't
sound...
a full year. It was 1 year. In August 2012 is when I went back and saw
I understand, but when did you pick up the car?
December 31st,
Of what year?
2012.
Okay, now they have a very different story, you know that, right? Tell me your story.
Okay. He brought the car to the shop. I saw the car downstairs in the basement, and I asked my father, whose this car belongs? And he told me that's my brother's friends. And I said, okay, the car is ready. And he said, yes. So why would you didn't call nobody? And he said, call them. I called him 2 times. He never picked up the phone.
So this is in April of 2012?
Yes.
And?
I still waiting, so many months. He never went. I spoke to my brother, and I told him, can you call your friend, because I need to get rid of the car. It's downstairs in the Fremont for so many years. And he said, he's gonna come, he's a friend, he's gonna come. Give a break, okay. He's friend, that's it. So he never came. I spoke to my brother 2 times. He said, he's gonna come, just give you some time. I decided not to do anymore, so that's when I called the marshal. I put a lien on the car.
And you did that when?
On September 3rd, September 2012.
Okay.
I called the marshal. He went there. He gave, the marshal work on the lien. He brought me the papers like 4-6 weeks later. He appeared to pick up the car the last day.
The last day.
When the lien, because that
and
day
it just so happened that was New Year's Eve.
Yes.
On the very last day that the lien documents he received said, for the love of God, pick up this car because you've left it there abandoned all this time, and its ownership is gonna revert to the body shop because you won't pick it up. Then he gets that notice sometime in September, October, and he waits until the very last day of the notice, which is December 31st. Why would you do that?
That is not true, Your Honor.
So if the plaintiff was tardy in picking up the car, does the defendant have to pay for the damage?
No,
Because?
because he was tardy in picking up his car.
Okay, what do you think?
Yes, because it's still his car and he should pay for it, and it was his fault leaving it at the shop.
So does the defendant repair shop have to pay him for the fire damage? Give me a yes or no quick.
Yes.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I got the lien paper. I went the 28th, but the father wasn't available. So I was told to come back Saturday the 29th. I went back the 29th. That's when I took a picture of my bumper hanging up in the shop. And I told them, well, I brought the money and I want to get my car. And why should I pay for storage if the car is not put together or ready to go? So then I was told I can't get the car that day. I have to come back the Monday, which was the 31st. That was my last day. Went there. I saw the car. They had the car jacked up. The guys were putting the car together. And that's when I was taking pictures.
Okay, do you have the pictures?
Yep.
And then what happens?
That was it. Me and the defendant walked around the car taking pictures of all the damage.
Okay, so and you paid them $1,700 in order to get your car out. You negotiated with them not paying storage, and then that's what we call a settlement in the eyes of the law. It's supposed to be over then, but yet you come to court and you're suing to not only do you not want to pay the storage just like your deal with them was, but you also want them to return $1,700 to you when you had a car there for 2 years that they repaired because it has 2 paint runs?
No, because it ended up having a whole lot of scratches and stuff by the time I got it back.
See, the problem is, I'm seeing scratches on your car. I see what you're saying, but you've kind of muddled up the works here. Because when they're demanding, how much storage were you due?
4,000 and something.
Wait, in storage alone, it's how much?
4,000 and something.
Yeah, that's okay. It just seems so wrong. And that's just in storage, plus the $1,700. And they said, look, we'll forget about the storage. Just let's settle it. Get your car out of here. Just pay the $1,700 and we're done. We'll call it a day. You say, yeah, okay, let's call it a day. I'll just pay you $17. I won't pay you $5,000, $6,000. I'll just pay you $17 and you'll give me the car. And yeah, we'll settle it. Then you turn around, you run to court and you sue. You can't do that.
The lien papers was not.
Do you hear me? Do you hear? Me pica que
I
marraca aquí.
hear what you're saying.
It ain't just me here. You're scratching me here. Listen to what I'm saying. There are consequences for arriving at that new contract. The good part for you is you get your car only paying $1,700. But you can't possibly think that a sane justice system would allow you to go, ha 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 ha, gotcha. I don't pay you storage and I still sue you, ha ha ha. That can't possibly be what you think I'm going to do.
No,
there's
I don't
a consequence for that, and the consequence is that you guys reached a settlement, and if the settlement was good enough for the two of you, it's good enough for me. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Well, down goes the plaintiff, and out here he comes. What's your reaction?
No reaction. I mean, the judge didn't see it my way.
No. So what do you do from here?
Nothing. I just got to get my car repainted.
You should have picked it up, right?
Well, if they had called me to pick it up, I would have. Or even if it was put together, I would have.
Yeah, well, you knew it was there. You could have called.
Yeah, I could have, but it wasn't put together, so.
All right, okay. All right. That's what he says, and he's sticking to it. That's his story. Head right down this way. All right, come on in here. Are you satisfied how this has turned out for you?
That was really good.
Yeah?
Mhm.
What do you think he tried to pull?
Okay, I think we make a deal, and he has to respect the deal. He didn't do it because I would charge, for the storage. So.
All right, over to Harvey.
You know, when you settle your beef, bottom line, the original contract is canceled.